Gonna work.
Welcome into Last Call here on WagerTalk. It's time for your primetime preview. It is Thursday, December 18th, week 16, kicking off here in the matchup between the LA Rams and the Seattle Seahawks. Now, we saw this just a couple of weeks ago, and the Seattle Seahawks were driving down the field looking to take the win, but missed field goal did cost them the game. Also in that game, you saw Sam Darnold have those struggles out there on the field. Now, the Seattle Seahawks are going to be looking for revenge, but the LA Rams are going to be wanting to get this win as well. This is probably going to be one of the most exciting Thursday night football games that we've seen all season. Now, looking at those lines, open up your odds logic page, you guys. I've got Carmine Bianco coming in here to go over this one. He's got a ton of props for you as well. And then we're going to look at some sides, some totals, everything here in this game. But looking at this, coming into this game, odds logic had to look at it. It was a pick 'em. We are now seeing the Seattle Seahawks. They have flipped to the favorite. They're laying 1.5 in this game. That total, the look ahead was 46.5. It is now down. It's dropped rapidly, you guys. We've got 42.5 basically across the board. We do have a couple of 42s out there as well. So money still coming in on that under. So Carmine Bianco's coming in. Then we're going to have a couple more people hopefully popping in. So make sure you get those questions in the live chat there. And yeah, we'll get to everything you guys want to know. So Tom Viola also coming in. I was drawing a blank on Tom's last name, you guys. I was panicking for a second, but he's going to be coming in as well. I see all you guys, new members, popping in here. J-Dog, great to see you. Seattle on the money line. You were able to get that before with plus money as they were the underdog. So let's bring in Carmine and let's jump into this game.
Hey, Joe, and you're right. It is a great Thursday night game. Let's hope it plays out that way as well, too. Just fewer turnovers this time around, especially if you're a Seattle Seahawks fan. But yeah, you mentioned odds logic, and it's obviously a great service, and you can get like 7 days free there as well, too. And you can watch the global markets and see, because this total has been coming down. I think a few factors come into it. Obviously, Devontae Adams for the Rams being doubtful, and I don't know if he's even listed as being on the field, but he's doubtful. I doubt he plays. But you look at the weather, and this is the weather. This will be the weather at game time, which we're about an hour and 15 minutes away from. And I'll do it in American numbers instead of Canadian numbers, even though we're north of the border. The current temperature there, it's 45 Fahrenheit. It feels like 40, they're saying. The winds, 13 miles per hour. The wind gusts are 32 miles per hour. And rain, they're expecting it to rain throughout the game, 1.6 millimeters per collected per hour. They had the tarp on it a little earlier, trying to keep the field warm as well too, but that's one of the reasons why we're seeing the numbers come down in this one. I have a play on the side, and you can get that over at WagerTalk. But I want to talk about the total in this game. Joe, should we jump right into it? And then
let's jump right into this total. I want to know how low is too low if we're looking at this one. 42 and a half. What are you thinking?
The first game was 21 to 19 in LA, and you look at it. First of all, we've got two of the best defenses, I think, playing right now. You look at it, 21-19. We look inside those numbers, and all of the analytics of that game just showed you how those 4 interceptions really affected the game. 2 of those interceptions, the next drive or that led to touchdowns by the LA Rams, short field, of course. One of the interceptions just before halftime, Puka Nacua, I think he fumbled it on the second or third play, so they got that one back, and then the last one, it didn't really matter. But you look at Seattle, 414 to 249 yards advantage. Turnovers, obviously 4-1 in turnovers. Time of possession, Seattle held the ball for 38 minutes of that game. only 22 for the Rams. And then the red zone, Seattle was terrible in the red zone, 1 of 4, while the Rams were 3 of 4. But again, playing with a very short field because of a couple of those turnovers. The thing here is that Seattle is a very good, if you look at their rush ratio, 49.69 is their rush ratio on the season, the second highest of any team. At home, also the second highest, 52.35. So the ball's going to be on the ground today, especially if the wind is a factor at all in this game. And we won't know it until we actually see it in the first quarter of the game. But this is why I'm sort of gravitating to some rushing props. And I'm looking at the Seattle ones just because with, the Rams are such a pass-happy team that it worries me that if they fall behind in this game, they have to come back. It's going to be through the air, short passes. I like the under here. I think time-consuming drives where the touchdowns become field goals instead. And I think we look at it an under. No one likes to play unders when they're 42 and a half, 43. But 42 is a key number, or one of the key numbers. So if you can get those, because I see a couple books still have a 43 there, some are at 42 and a half. I think as we get closer and they go to game time on a lot of the TVs and they're showing, and they're doing the pregame from just outside of the field there, and you can see what the conditions are like. I think that brings it into it. Joe, I normally don't get too sucked in by the forecasts, only because like every time someone tells me the Bills aren't going to put up any points or stay away from that total, it's snowing in Buffalo. I gave out the play Buffalo and Cincinnati at I think it was at 51 points, and they scored like almost 70 in that game. It's the offenses. It's figuring out, can they run the ball, and Seattle can definitely do that.
Okay, so we're looking for Seattle to run the ball in this one to stay under that total. If they do throw this up, which quarterback are you more worried about throwing those interceptions? You talked about the Rams. This is a pass-heavy team. We've got a Seattle Seahawks team that knows they can run the ball here on the LA Rams. But Sam Darnold threw those interceptions last time. Matt Stafford, though, if he's playing from behind, his interception plus 104. With these wind gusts expected, is it worth a look at the interception props?
I would, just because we don't know until we see it, but you could get some wobbly balls down the field that the safeties just get their hands on. If they made a movie about this game, I would call it the Darnold effect. It is because, but you have to wonder how Sam Darnold is going to do in prime time. Yeah. If you're a Minnesota Vikings fan, you're not going to forget how last season ended. You had two teams there in Detroit playing on the final Sunday of the NFL season for the number 1 seed and the NFC North title. And Darnold goes 18 of 41 for 166 yards, no TDs, no INTs. They lose that game 31-9. Detroit gets home field throughout the playoffs, and Darnold loses the following week to this LA Rams team in the wild card game. So it's the Darnold effect. If he has a good game, the game feels eerily similar because they're playing for the number 1 seed here. If the Rams win this game, the Rams will win the division only because all they have to do is win out, and they have 2 very winnable games to close out their season. If Seattle wins this, and if you're a 49ers fan out there, you should be cheering for Seattle to win this game, because if the 49ers win their final 2, their next, this weekend and next weekend, they play Seattle on the final weekend of the season, and a win by the 49ers gives them the title, the division title. So this is all the matchups. The only ones who truly control their own fate right now, you can say Seattle does, because they're going to have to win out, which includes winning in San Fran. But the LA Rams truly win tonight and then play 2 teams that aren't going to make the playoffs. I think it's Atlanta and Arizona. Yeah. If I'm correct, 2 games that they should win. They truly control their own fate tonight as far as where they're going to finish. But that division is going to come down to the final weekend. It's absolutely nuts in as far as that goes.
Yeah, it definitely is. And I hear what you're saying about Sam Darnold, the Darnold effect, but come on. This guy had a fantastic season up until
Yeah,
he didn't
yeah,
last season, right?
yeah.
Like, you got to feel for Sam Darnold. There's other quarterbacks out there that can have bad games, and it's just they had a bad game. But Sam Darnold, he has to really step up in each and every single one of those games. So we'll see what he's got on the go. Seeing all these comments in, really appreciate you guys for jumping in and being here for sure. Carm, let's get to some of those props you're looking at.
So I'm going to call this. So last week I talked about the Bijan Robinson effect, and I gave out 3 props on Bijan Robinson, and every single one of them hit, along with Atlanta winning and the Atlanta money line sprinkle. So we went 5-0 on the show last week. The previous week, we had George Kittle. It was the Skittles effect. I'm going to call this one, it's the wine night, because I'm going out to meet some friends. It's going to be Zach Charbonnet time. Not Chardonnay, not Cab Sav or whatever. It's Zach Charbonnet. Let's start with over 9.5 rush attempts. Because I expect Seattle to be their rush ratio to continue where it is right now. They're going to run the ball. They're going to run the ball at this Rams team and this Rams defense, who is very good. But I think they can get the yardage, control the drives. You keep number one, you keep the ball out of Darnold's hands and throwing the ball downfield. You give them some confidence, obviously, because if they sell out trying to stop the run, that then gives Sam Darnold some opportunities to make some plays, and they don't have to be deep plays, just time-consuming plays that collect first downs. They only had like 12 first downs, I think, or 12 or 13 in that game. So over 9.5 rush attempts. His rushing yards, which obviously are correlated, 32.5 is his rushing yards. These are over at DK, over the total of 32.5. And then I always throw in the anytime touchdown, plus 165. So Zach, let's have a big game tonight. 10 to 12 rushing attempts, 50 to 60 yards, even though you only need 33, and get into that end zone. And we cash a 3-0 ticket.
Oh, I love it. That anytime touchdown coming in at plus 165. He's in for a big night. I love where you're going. So you're calling it what night? Charbonnet? Just Charbonnet?
It's the Charbonnet night.
Instead of Chardonnay. I love it.
Yeah.
But are you going to have Chardonnay?
Not the Cabernet, not the Cabernet, the Charbonnet, and not the Chardonnay, the Charbonnet. So, yes, people are going to watch this show and think that Carm has a drinking problem. But we went with Skittles last week, and then or 2 weeks ago, and Bijan mustard last week. We'll call him Bijan mustard. Everything's food related with me, unfortunately. When you're Italian, all you're thinking about is food, which I'm thinking about dinner right now. So with those thoughts, yeah, absolutely. We'll see if we can cash this trio of tickets and hopefully see a very good game between these two.
Yeah, we absolutely should. I'm hoping that the weather lightens up a little bit so we can have a really fantastic back and forth game here. Matt Stafford, MVP. What do you think? You think he's going to get it?
He's the favorite right now, I believe. I think he's as of Sunday, he was like minus 160. The win by Josh Allen in New England was huge, but I don't think it's enough to tip the scales. The difference here is when you look at the QBs, is there's a good receiving corp here with LA. The Bills do not. The Bills receiving the receivers aren't that great. It is Josh Allen that makes his receivers look good. Whether it's Coleman, whether it's Shakir. Shakir's having a decent season. They brought in Gabe Davis as well too, and they brought in Brandon Cooks, who he was Mr. Butterfingers last week. So it is tough. Josh is having a phenomenal season. I don't think anyone's has reached at his age, which he's still in his 20s, 300 touchdowns. He's having an unbelievable season. He's sort of stamped what he did last season as far as being deserved of that MVP. But I don't think, even though I think he's the second or third choice, I don't think he wins it this season. I think he would have had to have had a phenomenal season, and the Bills have gone to a more balanced game now as far as like the rushing attack as well too. So yes, J-Dog, he needs better receivers. Definitely. So
yeah, it's going to be an interesting race for that MVP. I really hope Stafford gets it. He's just playing lights out this season. But Carm, a little birdie told me you got a big 5%er going on Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday, I got the plays up early because I really like 4 plays on Sunday. 3 of them are 4% plays. One of them is a 5% play. And you can get the 5% play separately for like $35, but I bundled them all together as well too, into an all access package, which is like $39. So $4 more, and you're getting 3 4% plays. Dating back to the start of the 2022 NFL season, or 23 NFL season, 3 years now, my 4 and 5% plays are up 145 units. So that's number one at WagerTalk across all NFL cappers, and we got some fantastic cappers at WagerTalk. So to be leading the pack over the last 3 years, in which I was doing mainly a lot of hockey, a lot of soccer, some baseball. I really got into, as far as at WagerTalk, I've always been betting NFL, but at WagerTalk, getting more client plays out in the last 3 years, and it's shown to be very profitable for them.
Well, you're absolutely crushing it, Carm. J-Dog is taking the Boston Bruins on the money line versus the Edmonton Oilers tonight. We've had the Oilers win, the last 5, 6 in Boston? Can't remember how many it is, but Carm, you got anything on the ice for us?
Yeah, I'm looking at some of these early games going right now. I just couldn't pull the trigger on Edmonton. I just thought the price I talked about on Puck Time today. Yeah. If you guys aren't watching, 11 a.m. Eastern every single day live on WagerTalk TV, Andrew McInnes and we have guests on like Don Buster, Brian Leonard, and who's very good at what he does, and the Prez, and we break down some games, and we talked about this one, and I just couldn't pull the trigger on Edmonton because they're just too inconsistent on the road for me. So and the Bruins, I figure it's going to be a down year for them, but they're proving me wrong right now. They're playing extremely well. They're sitting 5th in the Eastern Conference, I think, but they're getting wins. They're collecting points, and that's what you need, is to collect those points. As far as any late game action, I would probably look at a couple of them. I'd look at the New York Rangers coming off a shutout, a loss on home ice to go into St. Louis. The Blues aren't playing the greatest hockey right now. My pod play, and you guys got about 12 minutes for that. I do a pod play on Puck Time where I want to show you that getting away from parlays, that single game betting is how you can build your bankroll properly. We started with a $5,000 bankroll. Every flat bet is every bet is a flat bet of $200, which is 4% of your bankroll, which is kind of like the WagerTalk thing that we discuss. And we're up to 6,700 and change, so almost 6,800 now, so almost 36% on the season. And I don't have a play every single day, but today I do. Over 6 in the Buffalo and Philadelphia game. Had the under yesterday in the Vegas Golden Knights and New Jersey Devils game, and that one finished 2-1 in a shootout, I believe. So we easily cashed that under 5.5. No one likes unders, but the money spends the same way.
Yeah, it absolutely does. Did you do anything with Macklin Celebrini of the San Jose Sharks today?
No, but that's Spinorama. This guy is unbelievable. This guy deserves to be on the Olympic team. I really hope that he does make it. I'm just loving the talent, and I don't want to piss off any of our U.S. viewers because my friend just got back from Vegas and placed a hefty sized wager for me at Circa on Canada plus 170 to win the Olympic gold. It's going to be Canada and US in the finals. So we shall see. But if they meet in the finals, Canada is going to be favored. but I'm going to have a ticket where they are plus 170. So if I really wanted to get out of the wager, I could find a way of getting out of it. But I love to let these things ride. So with that said, listen, I love the U.S. I love my brotherhood and my brothers and sisters down south. I visit you guys quite often. So when you're not playing Canada, I'm always cheering for you guys.
Oh, absolutely. And if Canada doesn't make it weirdly into the finals, you'll be standing up there cheering for Team USA. So, yep. Carm, we are talking Thursday night football. Can you just do a recap before I let you go?
Yep. So I'm going under in this game, under 42.5. If you can get that 43, that would be even better, just in case some weird 23-20 score it lands on. Zach Charbonnet over 9.5 rushing attempts, over 32.5 rushing yards, and anytime touchdown plus 165 from Zach as well too. So let's have a Zach of a night.
Let's have a Zach of a night. I love it, Carm. Enjoy the night. Enjoy watching these games. Enjoy your Cap Sav out at the bar watching them.
Thank you. Have a great night.
Thank you. You guys, if you're looking for Carmine Bianco's best bets, do head on over to WagerTalk.com. Like he was saying, he is just crushing it. He's got an NFL 5% play for Sunday and 4% best bets over there. He's plus 145 units with 4% and 5% plays over the last 3 years. That's number one at WagerTalk. So you definitely don't want to miss out on his plays that he has rolling this weekend. We're still going to talk this game, you guys. We're talking the LA Rams versus the Seattle Seahawks. Tom Viola is going to jump in next. So drop those questions for him that you're like, we're going to talk some prop sides, totals. Let's bring Tom in.
Hey. How's it going, Joe?
It's going good, Tom. I forgot your name at the start of the show, your last name. Viola just slipped my mind, so apologies for that. I was scrambling a little bit in my head, but I won't do it again. I promise. Let's jump into this game here. Rams.
All good. It's one of those days, isn't it?
It has been one of those days. That is for sure. We're talking the Rams and the Seahawks. So is it going to be one of those days for Sam Darnold?
I don't think so, but I don't think this is going to be a game where we really want to look at the quarterbacks much at all anyway. I mean, it's always, I feel like it's always very frustrating. Derek Carty and I talk about the weather scenarios all the time on our Friday show, which, by the way, tune in on this channel tomorrow, noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. We'll be going over player props as we always do for the rest of the slate. But it's frustrating with these weather games where you're like, okay, the weather is supposed to be bad, but then all of a sudden, wind shifts and you end up with a fine second half, and all of a sudden, plunk, you're screwed on the unders you bet. But this feels like a game where both teams are going to try and run the ball because it's just going to be so dang gross out. It's why I'd actually lean towards some of the unders in those interception markets you guys were talking about. I don't see this being a game where we have a lot of passing action going on to begin with.
Yeah, absolutely. This weather is going to be nasty out there. Now, Tom, when you were on Monday night, didn't you call that first touchdown score? And wasn't it a massive touchdown score? The tight ends were going crazy, William saying in the one game. He said last week. Was it Monday or was it last week that you called something amazing with tight ends as well?
Oh, Monday. Monday was a good it was a good day. I hit on that first touchdown score with Henderson.
Yeah, you did.
Or Henderson, was that his name? Already forgetting what his last name was, but Hayward. It was Connor Hayward. And I literally, like I said that day, I went to the gym and I took my buddy texted me and he goes, "Damn, Hayward got the first touchdown." And I'm sitting there, I'm like, Cameron Hayward, the defensive end? And he goes, "No, the third string tight end." And I'm like, wait, I have tight ends. And sure enough, that was a very nice one. Shout out to my boy Noops for that.
Yeah, that would have been a nice payout there. So congratulations for that. So when you're looking at this game, the total, if you're looking for a heavy run game, not a lot of pass action, are we just going under the 42.5?
I'm not going under the 42.5 at this point. We're so close to kickoff. If you're going to be betting the main side in total right now, you're betting into the teeth of a really sharp market. However, I do have one bet that might become too bad. I might just double down on this because you've got the first quarter total. There's a certain book out there that I can't name that has -115 on the 7.5 under right now.
Okay.
And that's worth a play. And then at a book I can mention, DraftKings has even money on under 20.5. Now, yes, you're getting that's a not an insignificant half point that you're not getting there, but they have under 20.5 at even money. I like both of those. And really, when you're this close to game time, that's a great way to invest in some of these markets where maybe something's a little bit mispriced in the alts, that's a line is shifted and the alts didn't get updated and things like that. That's where you can find some of these edges here that are at the very least good bets, even if they don't necessarily work out. But in a game like this, where we're going to have bad weather, we might get off to a rough start here. If you're looking at playing unders, alt totals and those partial game derivatives are where I'm going right now.
Okay, I like where you're going right now. Now, there were question marks on if Puka Nacua would be playing in this game. We know there's a bit of drama surrounding him right now. What are your thoughts on Puka? Like, we're not expecting a heavy pass game in this, but is his mind going to be in this game?
I mean, what a week. It's a show. Yeah. If you're Sean McVay, you're sitting there like, I'm dealing with the flu. My best receiver just randomly decided that this is the week that I'm just going to go on a Twitch streamer's channel and start spouting stuff. Yeah. Oh, man. If I'm McVay, I am not happy with him right now, but just wild, weird circumstances there. I don't think it's going to be a heavy passing game, but that being said, if there's going to be a receiver getting a lot of targets, it's probably going to be Puka.
Okay, yeah, we're going to see what we get out of Puka Nacua tonight. Now, for the Seattle side of things, who are you liking? Who do you think could have success out there?
I'm leaning into this running attack, really. I know that Carmine is very big on Zach Charbonnet. My only other bet besides that first quarter under is the opposite. I've got Kenneth Walker over his 13.5 carries number. That's the only thing that was really popping on my screen for me earlier. So that's all I ended up with in this one. But I think you can still have both running backs have success in this game. Even if they don't have success, the beauty of a rushing attempts number, 13 attempts for 13 yards still gets you there. It doesn't matter. But I think that we could see them lean pretty heavily on the ground game here.
Okay, now what do you think of Sam Darnold for his rushing prop? It's only 3.5. Right? Most of the books at 3.5, it's between -110 and -120. So definitely shop those lines over at OpsLogic, you guys. But Sam Darnold, put in those tough situations, he has no problem dropping his shoulder and trying to run it in. Do you think we can see him run for 4 yards in this game?
I think we could, but if it is, it's going to be on a scramble. This is another one of those teams that kind of employs a different push package that we saw out of the Steelers on Monday night. And by the way, might lead to some good first touchdown opportunities, some mispriced lines there. If you're this is an angle that's not going to be around for very long. I can already tell, but be sure to look at that. I'm personally inclined to stay away because you're basically betting here. Does Darnold take off and run for one, maybe he needs 2 rushes to get there, and they're not going to be designing any runs for him. I'm a little worried about that. That being said, I think that Sam Darnold's struggles are a little bit overrated. Yeah, the game against the Rams the last time they played was very ugly, and Seattle still really should have won that game despite having 4 interceptions. I'm not taking a side, but my half of me leans Rams in that I think they're the better overall football team, and half of me leans Seattle in that they almost won the game with 4 interceptions last time, and I don't think Darnold goes out and does that again.
Yeah, and that's why I'm all over the Seattle Seahawks in this game. I know it's so hard to step in front of the LA Rams. I love what Matt Stafford and this offense is doing. They've got a solid defense, but I look at the defense here of Seattle. They kept them in that game when Sam Darnold had those struggles, and as long as Darnold plays a game where his head's on his shoulders, he's not throwing those interceptions, I do think we can get the Seattle Seahawks to get the win, kind of seek that revenge. I also think it means more here for the Seattle Seahawks, even though the LA Rams, well, they want to get another win, but they're already sitting pretty. So I think Seattle comes out huge in this one. It's interesting with this weather. Jackson Smith-Njigba is still the odds-on favorite for that anytime tutty at +125. Does that make sense to you? Shouldn't it be a running back?
Yeah, I mean, it's very difficult to count out JSN, but again, we've seen it for a couple weeks now where, all right, the game plan isn't quite going that way at the moment. I mean, Darnold does love to feed him, but again, this isn't a game where I really see a ton of passing. If you want to go for a touchdown prop, I'd say your better bets are going to be in that running back territory personally. But then again, honestly, your best bets when it comes to touchdown props are usually the guys that are further down the roster, those second string tight ends and players like that, because you're just not getting a good enough price. Like what'd you say, plus 120 on JSN to score a touchdown this bad?
Yeah.
I would never want to take a price like that on a guy.
Yeah. Okay. I don't want to either. It's just too pricey. I see all your comments, and I'm sorry for breaking hearts over taking the Seattle Seahawks and not the LA Rams. Not planning on breaking hearts over picks here, you guys, but I do think Seattle can get it done. You have been cashing those first touchdown props and those touchdown props, though. So where are you going? What have you got for us?
Let's see. Who do I'll tell you one that I do have. Darnold first touchdown at 50 to 1 is kind of interesting.
Oh, I like that. Sam Darnold for the very first touchdown. What's he coming in at for that first touchdown? I think I'm going to tail you on that. You know, I'm a big believer in Sam Darnold. I think he gets way too much hate out here. I saw the comments about the ghosts and everything in the chat here. The poor guy. If that was any other quarterback, that would not have been aired when he was playing with the Jets. First touchdown plus 5,500.
Yeah.
Come on.
And another interesting one is Rashid Shaheed. I could see, that's one where he has the speed to kind of just take one of those slants and break it. We'll see what happens with the passing game, though. I'm less inclined. I'm a little worried about the passing games just due to the fact that it might be a slow start for both of these teams, but Shaheed's the receiver that pops to me.
Okay. I like where you're going with those. You got anything else in this one for us, Tom, before I let you go?
Nothing as far as this game. Like I said, I like those first half and first quarter unders. They're the kind of bets that they're not going to hit every time, but they're going to hit at slightly higher of a percent than what you're betting them at. For example, this DK under 20.5 is at even money. It's probably going to hit it like 52% of the time. You're getting 52. You're getting coin flip odds on a bet that's not actually a coin flip. I'll take those every single time and know that over the course of 5 NFL seasons, I'm coming out ahead. It's stuff like that I'm looking to at this time. I really, really would like to find an alt total on the over that would pop, because this is one of those kind of games. And I know that I'm talking about both sides of my mouth here, but saying, oh yeah, I'm on these unders. What I was looking for, and I just wasn't able to find anything that was worth betting, is getting one of those really fun alt total overs that's maybe a little bit mispriced to where you get an edge on it. And then the weather narrative turns out to be wrong. There's not that much wind. The offenses are clicking, and boom, we're at 42 points, and we're at 42 points on the total. We have an over 54, and we're cashing it, and we're cashing with 35 points apiece. Would be fun. I haven't found any price on it that's popped to make it worth betting for me, though, sadly.
That definitely would be a lot of fun. I don't know. You look at this total, 42.5, and you still got Matt Stafford. You still got Sam Darnold. If that wind just stays down, a little bit of drizzle, they can still catch the ball. And you know those defenses, it's harder to follow that route. So I don't know. I'm more inclined to take it to the over, especially at 42. So we'll see what unfolds. You've got your prop show tomorrow. Tell us about that, and tell us wherever everyone else can find you.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, right here on WagerTalk, Prop Culture with Derek Carty of EV Analytics. We go through his blitz numbers. We take a look at what is popping, what kind of value we have. And then the beauty of it is we all go and we all bet these. We all have a great time. And then on Sunday at End Zone Live, we're all sweating them in the second half of End Zone Live right here on WagerTalk as well. So come and join us for both shows. It's always a great time. And we've been hot. We're up more than 20 units on the season right now when it comes to the prop bets so far. So we've been feeling pretty good, and we get some nice long shots. We cashed a Joe Flacco rushing touchdown at like 50 to 1 a couple weeks ago.
Nice. I absolutely love that. Getting some money in on Joe Flacco before he retires. Is he retiring at the end of the year? Come on. How much longer does Joe Flacco have?
I don't understand why he keeps playing, but hey, we're seeing Phillip Rivers back in the NFL right now. Anything's possible at this point.
Anything is absolutely possible. Well, Tom, everyone can catch you tomorrow as well as Sunday on the End Zone. So all the best in all your bets and absolutely crush it. I can't wait to hear what you cash for those first touchdowns.
Thank you so much, Joe. Best of luck to everybody. I'll see you next time.
See you next time, Tom. Okay, you guys, that was Tom Viola joining us here on WagerTalk Last Call. He's broken this game down. Carmine Bianco has broken this game down as well. And, I look at this one, and we talked about it. I'm on the Seattle Seahawks. I think they're able to get revenge in this game. Sam Darnold just has to play better, and he has to get his head right coming into this one, not throw those interceptions. But with this weather, I think we're going to see less opportunities for him to throw it up in the air, less willingness to throw up in the air because of the wind. Now, the weather isn't deterring me off this total, though. I think 42 is just too low. I do think we go over that total and maybe just hit 45 points, but I think this game is so tight. Both of these quarterbacks pushing each other, and I think this one has every opportunity to go to overtime. We saw that last game. We saw how Seattle was driving down the field on that last drive. They were controlling the clock, leaving no time left on the clock after they tried that field goal, a field goal that should have gone in. They were so confident they were going to be able to convert it at that point on the field, and then it missed. And that was rare for this team. So Seattle, I think, has more to play for in the mindset coming into this one. It's also hard for one team to beat another team twice. So while I love Matt Stafford, I love the LA Rams, I would love to see them just run the table here on the Seattle Seahawks. I don't think it happens. I think Seattle's able to get things done. So I'm heavy on Seattle, and I'm heavy on this one to go to overtime. I think this is just a back and forth, constant battle between these two. So with that total, I got to take it over the 42, you guys. I was hoping that we would see the lack of weather out here where we could really count on the over 1.5 passing touchdowns for Sam Darnold. We could still see that. So if you're looking at JSN, we talked about him. He's plus 125 for the anytime cutty. It's just way too much juice in that regards because of the weather playing a factor. But I could still see him being able to get into the end zone. I do love where Tom's looking for Sam Darnold rushing one in. You guys know that I love the defensive props, but because of that weather, I think those interceptions are coming, but I'm not playing those pick sixes because I think it's going to be harder for, that big defensive player then to break away once he gets that interception. So something I normally turn to when I love those interceptions, but can't go there. You could parlay both of these quarterbacks for the anytime INT because I think one is coming for both of them. That way we'll give you some plus money. So it's going to be a great Thursday night football game, you guys. I can hardly wait to get down to my TV. Not going to lie. This is the last thing I'm doing today. The hockey will be on, though, as well. So anyone looking for a quick update out there on the rink, Edmonton is up 1-0 over the Boston Bruins. The Washington Capitals looks like they're going to close out this first period here, which I was hoping that Toronto would score first so I could get better value on the Washington Capitals. Not happening. And I need a goal out of the Penguins right away. I got 4 minutes left in the first period versus the Ottawa Senators, and I took both teams to score. So looking for a little bit of luck out there on the ice currently right now. It's 0-0 still between the Wild and the Columbus Blue Jackets. If the first period could end that way, it definitely would be a great day on the ice. And anyone that had both teams to score in the first period between Chicago and Montreal, that one is cash. That was plus 160 today, you guys. So definitely great way to go looking at those both teams to score in the first period. But I want to wish you guys all the best in all of your bets today. Enjoy this Thursday night football game. I want to thank Carmine Bianco and Tom Viola for stepping in and giving us all of their best free picks. Don't forget, Carm has a 5% play over on WagerTalk.com for Sunday. You don't want to miss out on it. You also, if you can get it in right away, go get his play for tonight. He does have a play on the side. I appreciate you guys. See all of your comments drop in here. Thank you so much for being here with us. I will see you on Monday for another last call primetime preview. But you guys, until next time, stay hot and let's make some freaking money. We'll see you next week.